Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As we all know, Valentine's Day is quickly approaching us. Now, if you're wanting to do something really super and cool, fun and easy for a Valentine's Day makeup look, and you're scanning YouTube videos and you're like, what's mascara? What's eyeshadow? What do I do? Help! But you don't really have the time to go up to a counter for them to give you the 411 on it. This is the video for you. I just completed a really simple, quick, and easy Valentine's Day makeup tutorial for you guys using the Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay, which almost everyone has, as well as a couple of MAC eyeshadows in my MAC Pro palette. Now, if you want to know how I completed this look, stay tuned and keep on watching. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is priming my eyes. I've already completed my foundation and my eyebrows. If you want to know how I did my eyebrows today, I actually just did a video on it, and just click down below and there'll be a link to that. I'm going to be priming my eyes because we don't want our eyeshadow to move or budge, and if you have oily lids like me, this is definitely a must-have. I'm going to be using the NARS Pro Prime eyeshadow base. So I'm just going to be putting palette I chose to use today is a combination of the Naked 3 palette along with a couple of my MAC eyeshadows. I chose the Naked 3 palette because I feel like most people have this palette or they have a Naked palette. So if you are on a budget and you don't want to buy any new makeup for Valentine's Day, which is totally understandable, go ahead and pull out a palette that you already have. The first thing I'm going to be doing is adding my highlight to my brow bone. And I'm going to be using the MAC eyeshadow in the color Rice Paper. It is just this pretty light yellow eyeshadow there. I'm going to be doing that with my NARS eyeshadow brush, which is the next step, which is really important, is adding a transition shade. Whenever you're applying eyeshadow, the transition shade is really important. It's going to help all the colors blend seamlessly at the end and also give you a little bit of warmth to your eyeshadow look. The transition shade I'm going to be using is this MAC shade right here, and it is called Saddle by MAC. I'm just going to be adding that into the crease. You just want to do windshield wiper motions in and out your crease like so. And you're not really going to be adding a whole lot of depth with, can I speak? Depth. With this shade, it's really just going to warm up the base of your eye and add just a hint of color. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go into the Naked 3 palette and I'm going to add my lid color to my eyelid. Now, a great thing about these colors is that they're all kind of rosy and neutral, which is absolutely, can I blind you even more than that? They're all kind of rosy and neutral, which is perfect for Valentine's Day. So the color I'm going to use is this shade here, which is called Trick, and this is a rose gold type of color. Now, I'm going to intensify it even more by spraying my eyeshadow brush with my makeup setting spray, and I'm using the Kat Von D Lock and Load one, but you can use anything that you want. You can also use some water, so I'm just going to do a couple of sprays, and if you have darker skin, this is a great trick because it's going to help intensify any eyeshadow color that you put on. So I'm going to go into that color Trick like so. And I'm just going to go ahead and pack that on my eyelid. Like so. Now don't worry if you feel like it's a little bit too light. Don't worry, we're going to go ahead and blend everything in and deepen up the crease. And that's going to bring everything in together. So I'm going to go back in with that transition shade on this brush. And this is kind of like a round fluffy brush for the crease, and I'm going to add that back into the crease. I'm going to smooth out any harsh edges because we want everything to blend smooth and seamlessly. Now I'm kind of making a V shape in my outer V, if you could notice that. See, this is the point of the V here, and I'm connecting it down to where the corner of my eyelid starts. So I'm kind of going back and forth, making that V shape, and that's going to make your eye really defined. Next thing I'm going to do is just deepen up the crease. We've already made the shape that we want, so we just want to deepen it up and make it a little bit more dramatic. Now, if you're comfortable with this look complete, you can completely stop here, add some eyeliner, some mascara, or some false lashes, and then you'll be good to go. But if you want to intensify it a little bit, go ahead and get a deeper matte shade, and I'm going to be using MAC's Embark, and I'm going to do the same motion I did with MAC's Saddle in the crease. Now we've pretty much intensified the look to what I would do for Valentine's Day, and I think this is pretty appropriate and pretty easy if you're a beginner, but I want to take it just a little bit further. So what I'm going to do is go into the Naked 3 palette again, and I'm going to use Black Heart, and this is a really pretty deep plum black color, but it has some reflectives in it. And you just want to take a little bit of that shade and pop that into the crease. Now, if you make a mistake and you feel like you've put a little bit too much, you can always go back in with that transition shade. That's really going to help us out here, and you can always blend it back out. When you're using such a dark color like Black Heart or any black or any deeper brown, you want to make sure you always start out with a little and build it up. It's always easier to add more than to take any away. I want to make sure that it is completely even and blended as much as possible. That is the key again. You have to blend every single thing. And I'm just deepening up the crease. Now when you're adding that black shade or any darker purple shade, the shade that you want to really intensify your crease, you don't want to go as high up on the eyebrow, on your brow bone, as you did that transition shade. That transition shade, you can just do whatever you want with it. You can just have a free-for-all. That black shade or the darker shade, you want to keep that more contained. You want to keep that more contained to exactly where your crease is, because that is how your eye look is. Here I'm going to go back into my Naked palette and put some more of that eyeshadow trick on my eyeshadow brush. And just go back over my lid like that. The last and final step that you want to do is make sure you use a fluffy brush like this. Go back into that transition shade one more time, and then you want to swirl it in there and just blend everything together. I like to add some liquid eyeliner on the top because this tutorial is for beginners. But I'm just going to very closely line my upper lash line. Down my lower lash line. And add that. So there. I already had mascara on before filming this, but I'm going to add a little bit more because I want, am I a frog? Because I want my eyelashes to be as dark and as defined as possible without using false lashes. And then the last step is the lips. I love red lips, and I feel like days like Valentine's Day or Christmas are just kind of an excuse for me to wear them. So I'm going to use the Stay All Day liquid lipstick, and this is in the color Fiery. Now, I recommend a liquid lipstick like this because these last all day. So if you're going to be drinking or if you're going to be eating at a restaurant or whatever, these last all day. You won't have to worry about touching them up or even having to apply a lip liner underneath them. And we don't have time for extra work, so I definitely just suggest these. It's a one-stop shop. You can get it done and it will last all night. So what I'm going to do, since I'm not applying the lip liner, is I'm going to add this to my lips and just kind of trace the shape a little bit, just so I can make it get as crisp and as defined as I can possibly get it. If you want to be a little bit more meticulous with your look, you can take a brush like this, and this is the one that I used in my eyebrow tutorial. Take a little bit of concealer. I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear, and just kind of clean up the lips a little bit.